depending on whichever level of CIPS you are, okay, you are going to be faced with two types of exams. Number one, the objective response exam questions, in which you select the answers, basically multiple choice questions. And number two, the constructed response exam questions, in which you write your answer. In this video, we are looking at constructed response exam, specifically how you write a 25 marks answer. So I'm going to take you through the process, right? How you do that, and also show you where you can access some of these questions and give you several templates to guide you. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, kindly do, okay? It's free, and well, it will mean a lot to me, plus it helps, the channel to grow. What are constructed response questions and which modules have them? Now, the constructed response questions are the type of questions where, as the name suggests, you construct your response, as opposed to the objective, response questions where you select an answer, multiple choice question, drag, drop, things of that nature. With constructed, you're going to be writing essays. It's like one question, 25 marks, write the answer. Here's an example of such question. So we have ArcLight Cinemas is rolling out a chain-wide upgrade to digital projection systems. The procurement selected the lowest projector brand, unaware that replacement lamps were 3 times more expensive than other brands and needed more frequent servicing. Now the finance team is questioning the original purchasing decisions. So what exactly are you required to do in this case? So you're required to analyze 5 life cycle cost elements procurement should have evaluated before selecting the digital projection equipment for ArcLight Cinemas. That is a scenario-based question, okay? Some of these questions are not going to be scenario-based. I mean, they're still going to be 25 marks, just not scenario-based. For example, describe 5 factors organizations should consider when defining service requirements before going to market. Again, 25 marks. Yeah, the question could just add up to 25 marks, or it could be one question, 25 marks, meaning you can have one question with like part A, 10 marks, maybe part B, another 10 marks, part C, 5 marks, or just one question like those ones, 25 marks. Regarding the modules that have these questions, the constructed response exams are not in all modules. If you're in level 1, level 2, you're not going to meet such questions. You'll just have the objective response questions. The same with level 3. But 4, 5, and 6, you'll meet them. In level 4, you'll meet them in module 1 and module 8. In level 5, you'll meet them in module 1 and module 4. In level 6, okay, you'll meet them in module 1, module 2, module 3, and module 4. So now you know what constructed response exams are. You even know the sort of questions, okay, the examples of questions. And you also know which modules and which levels they are in. So the question then becomes, how exactly do you write an answer, a 25 marks answer for those questions? Before we do that, just a quick reminder, if you're taking your CIPS level 4 exams, planning to sit for that exams, and you're worried about cost, you're worried about time, you're probably self-studying, then make sure you join my CIPS level 4 members only club, okay? I created this program to help you, because if you're self-studying, then it means that you are the teacher and the student. You are the examiner and you're the one being examined. And that presents its own problems. Okay, so how exactly is this program going to help you? Well, in the program, you're going to have access to all mock exams, okay? All modules from module 1 to module 8. And the mock exams are going to be in chapter by chapter by chapter. So it's not like if it's just one paper. It's like if you are doing, say, level 1, module 1, there is assessment criteria 1, which is chapter 1. That's how I've put it. There are questions on that alone. So if you're struggling with like assessment criteria 7, you can just look at the questions, take those questions, which you do. Hey, Mark, we talk about your progress, okay? And also if you have any question, right? If you have any question, you just text me or send a voice note and I'll help you answer it, okay? You also get study tracker template. Meaning what? Meaning you have a template that will tell you, okay, it's Monday, study this and this. That's it, okay? Because you don't have time, right? So study that and then assess yourself. Okay, so did I understand this topic? Do I need to repeat something here? Sit for your mock exams. Okay, I didn't get this question and this question. Does that mean I need to repeat this topic? In short, the whole thing is just designed to help you pass your exam. So make sure you join, okay? Link is provided in the description. Make sure you join. Now, moving on. Here's how you're going to answer your questions. Number one, understand the command word. This is not even negotiable. I mean, if you sit for any of these exams, there's always going to be a command word. Analyze, define, blah, blah, blah. You have to know that before you even start answering the question, because otherwise you're just writing things and then you're hoping for the best. And hope, not a strategy. Okay? Here's an example. Analyze 5 life cycle cost elements procurement should have evaluated before selecting the digital projection equipment for ArcLight cinemas. That's the question. What is the command word there? Analyze, right? In the other one, it was describe 5 factors organizations should consider when defining service requirements before going to market. Describe. Now, other command words that you're likely to be faced with in these questions will include identify, outline, describe, plan, discuss, analyze. Now look, as I said, lots of templates, okay? So here's the first one that you need to download. I've added a template, okay? 13 command words, download it. It has the command words, what exactly is required of you in those command words, sample questions as per each, okay? So if it is analyze, this is what you need to do when you're analyzing. Here's a question on that. Here's a plan to answer that question. Download that one. It's free, okay? So don't be like, yeah, I'm paying for the... Download that. You have no excuse. So access that provided below. Let's move on to the next thing that you need to do. So the first thing was what? Know the command word, right? Before you start answering, know the command word. Now, number 2, plan your answer before you write. Take a minute to plan your answer. And this is going to mean highlighting the command word, figuring out how many points the question wants, okay? Underlining any scenario details relevant to the points, assuming it's a scenario question, noting down in bullets the main answer points. In 25 marks questions, usually it's about 5 things that you need to talk about. In fact, most of these questions will tell you either outline 5 things, explain 5 things, whatever, but just make sure you know how many do they want based on the marks. So for example, let's use the questions that we've talked about before. Describe 5 factors organizations should consider when defining service requirement before going to market. So in this case, the command word is describe, okay? So what does that mean? Meaning, give a clear explanation of what the factor is and an example or detail of how it affects service requirements. And so in this case, your points are going to be 5 points because you're told to do or to describe 5, right? So the 5 points, that's the next thing. Remember, each point must be developed, not just one sentence. And don't worry about how do you develop the points, because in a few minutes, I'm going to be showing you how to do that, how to come up with strong points, okay? The other thing that you need to do as part of planning here is, so note down the points. So in this case, the points could be clarity of service scope, okay? What work is included or not included, performance standards and KPIs such as response time, quality levels, required skills or expertise, so things like competency, qualification, certification, certifications to ensure right provider capability. Another point that we'll talk about there could be service delivery model and volumes, okay? Things like frequency of service, hours, location, interface and roles, that is what the supplier does versus what the buyer does. Remember, the question is, what exactly are you supposed to define before we go to the market? Okay, it's like, that question is just saying, we are developing specifications. What should we include in specifications before we go to the market? So those are some of the things that you can include in your specifications, okay? Specifications and KPIs, that's pretty much what the question is asking you using other words. So that's the second thing that you need to understand. Let's move on. Number 3, write using a clear structure. The question is 25 marks, meaning it's not just about the question itself. It's about, it's not just about the, like, whatever you write, okay? Yeah, it's about the question. It's not about whatever you write. It's about the structure of how you write it. It's about the language, basically the grammar. All these things are going to be tested. So how exactly do you go about that? Well, examiners love answers that are ordered, logical, and broken into sections. Now, here's an example, okay, of how you go about answering that. So in this case, number 1, short introduction, basically 2 to 3 sentences. In this case, you show you understand the topic, okay? And if the question is a scenario-based question, then your introduction should link back to the scenario. So number 1, there's the intro. Number 2, which is the main body in this case, 5 well-developed points. So each point should include, well, a point, that is what, an explanation, that is why and how, and a scenario example, okay, which in this case will help to prove that you understand the context. And then number 3, a short conclusion. So the conclusion, what exactly is the conclusion going to do? The conclusion is supposed to summarize the importance of the issue in case of scenario questions, reconnect to the organization or scenario goals. And by the way, just so that you're on the same page, if you like receiving this sort of content in your email, summary version of this, for example, this video, okay, not the video, but something like the template, okay, the answering template. This video has a template to help you answer these questions. That template has already gone out through the email to people who are part of my newsletter, okay? So if you haven't joined that, make sure you do, okay? It's simple. Just use the link in the description, join the newsletter, and choose if you're in level 4, level 3, level 5, level 6. Just select, okay, I'm in this level. I just want to receive content relating to that level, and you'll receive those. And make sure, if you join, make sure you go and make sure you confirm the email, because I'm not in the business of just emails that are not. I mean, if you're not planning to check your email, don't waste your time, okay? Because I'll just notice your DOM and then I'll delete it. So make sure you join, go download your template, like this template, this question template, okay? You'll access it, you'll receive it in your email. So in addition to other things, summary, notes, questions, things of that nature, make sure you join the newsletter. Also remember, if you're in level 4, make sure you join the members only club and access all those questions, plus other content, video content, and access to, you can text me anytime you want. You can voice note anytime, like, yeah, I don't understand this question, blah, 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 or this topic, and then I'll hit you back and all that, okay? So make sure you do that. Let's move on. Right. How do you build strong points? Remember, we just said 5 points, right? That is what these questions are asking you. And in our structure, we've just said there's the intro, there is the body, which are the main points, and then there is the conclusion. But then how do you make these points strong? Now, since most of these questions want you to give 5 points, and each point should be strong enough to give you 4 to 5 marks, then it means that, number 1, have a point. That is, what are you saying? Number 2, explain the point, okay? So why the point matters, okay? Number 3, give an example. In most cases, you just link that back to the scenario. And number 4, link back to the question objective. All that, the point, the explanation, the example, the linking, we can just use the acronym PEEL, okay? So just think PEEL, P-E-E-L, meaning what's my point, what's my explanation, what's my example, and how does this link back either to the scenario or to the subject matter? Well, let's do this practically, okay? Again, abstract, practical. The point here could be something like poorly defined service requirements can increase procurement delays. And then you explain that. When specifications lack detail, suppliers repeatedly seek clarification, and this slows down the sourcing cycle. So let's assume that question had something to do with the problem with, okay, specifications, blah, blah, blah. So that's a point, that's the explanation. But then example, now let's assume this was a scenario question, scenario-based question. So the example could be, in ABC Limited, having unclear software license needs caused multiple retenders with IT vendors. Okay, so that's an example from the question, right? And then this directly affects procurement efficiency and increases lead times for non-stock purchase. Like we've just linked back. Since you're required to do like 5 of these points, so just repeat that. That's point 1, point 2, point 3, point. So you're writing them in continuous prose. So it's not like point and then no, you have to be smarter than that. So you see, you got your points. Okay, you've explained the point. You've given an example, which could be from the scenario based or from some other example if it is non-scenario, and then you link back to the subject matter, which is what the question was asking you. Then you do that 5 times. Now, you understand that, right? At this point, you're getting 25 marks or 27, 25. All right. I mean, yeah, you're getting distinction, right? Unless you're just properly lazy and are just looking for a reason why things don't work. It's like, yeah, even this one I tried and shut up. Look, try, okay? And there are questions. So download the scenario-based questions from the members club, module 8, module 1, practice those ones, send them to me. I'll tell you, okay, this part here is lacking, this one. Continue practicing, okay? So we are good. Now let's move on. What is the examiner actually looking for? This part is very important. I mean, this is the last part, right? So think of it this way. if you're going to pass this question, you have to think, first of all, you're the student, but you also have to think like the examiner so that you know how to communicate to them. Because most of the time, people fail these questions because of just, they're just in a rush, okay? So the examiners are looking for things like relevance, okay? Every sentence must answer the question. Depth, okay? You must move beyond generic statements, okay? Things like, yeah, because the procurement did their job well. What does that mean, right? Avoid those generic sentences. Number 3, scenario application. So sure, you can apply concepts, okay, to this organization, not just to any organization. Meaning what? Meaning if you're given a scenario-based question, that answer, remember, point, explanation, example. That example, okay, should be from the problem that was in the question. Or if you don't have an example from that question, you link that solution, like after point, explanation, example from outside, if you want, then link it back to that scenario so that you're not just talking about random organizations. Show them that I'm applying. Next, structure. So clear points separated by paragraphs or headings. Technical accuracy, that is using correct procurement and supply terminology. And then we have breadth, in this case, 5 different non-repetitive points. And finally, insight, which means you show relationship, consequences, risks, impacts, benefits, etc. Look, make sure you download this particular, in this video, there's a template guide for answering questions. Also, make sure you download the command words. Okay, that one is also there. And depending on if you're in level 4, make sure you join the members only club where you'll access all these materials. Other levels also coming up. But in the meantime, if there is any question, make sure you let me know. See you in the next video.